Celebrate with us Saturday, October 16 at Barbez for 30 years of underground solution. Supported by Barbez and your home of the underground, RTRFM.
Now, drag racing and donating to breast cancer care WA are probably two things you never thought you'd hear in the same sentence, but Therapy on Wheels combines these in a fast-paced way. They're a fantastic organisation providing a cancer awareness and support in the unique way of drag racing, offering rides to everyone with the proceeds going to Breast Cancer Care WA. To tell us more about Therapy on Wheels and the launch of their Mercedes-Benz drag race car, we're joined by Andy Kahle, founder of Therapy on Wheels. Thanks for joining me on the record.
Thank you very much.
Now, could you explain to us what Therapy on Wheels is?
Basically speaking, as you mentioned, we take people down the drag strip in full race gear at full race speed. And the proceeds then go to Breast Cancer Care WA to help them do the amazing job that they do.
So what made you decide you wanted to create this organisation?
I was already drag racing and I was then diagnosed with breast cancer myself. And the drag racing community is such a great supportive community. People think that we're all hoons because we're into, drag cars and stuff. But when you look a bit deeper, we're actually a really, really caring and supportive community. And I wanted to be able to share that with other people going through that same experience of how supportive, and it was a great outlet for us when we were going through a difficult time. So we decided to build a car and take passengers so that they could experience the same thing we did.
And we were speaking just before we went on air, you're driving the car for these little races. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. I've been driving for about 11 years now, and I'm used to going a little bit quicker than this car goes. We are restricted with our speed because of the passengers to keep it nice and safe. But yeah, I do the driving, and so it's something a bit different for people where they get to see that it's not just a female driver, it's a female driver who's actually been through the breast cancer herself, and it just makes it a bit more of a unique experience.
So what is it about drag racing that you think helps other people not only with their mental health but other situations that they may face in their life?
When you're going through a difficult time, whether it's just having a stressful day at work or whether it's going through a serious illness or watching somebody else go through a serious illness, it's really important for your own mental well-being to have an outlet where you can just offload and recharge those emotional batteries. And for us, that outlet was something really, really different. It was drag racing. You can just really let your hair down and have a bit of fun.
And now the car that Therapy on Wheels offers for the passengers to ride in is a supercharged Hellcat Mercedes-Benz. Can you tell us more about this car?
We wanted something different. Anybody can do your regular Holdens or your Fords, and you see them very commonly down at the track. We wanted something that you didn't normally see down at the track. So we've built a Mercedes-Benz, and we've put, it's the first time a Hellcat engine has been put into a Mercedes-Benz, and adjusted it to be in full drag kit. But when you look at it, it sort of looks like it could be street registered because we've put all the interior, or as much of the interior, back in as possible to keep that classy Mercedes look.
So how long did it take to do all that if it hasn't been done before?
It actually took about 3 years.
Oh, wow.
In the build.
So I can imagine a lot of planning and things not going quite right and having to work around it.
There was a lot of head scratching, a lot of phone calls and emails across the world, talking to different experts here, there and everywhere. There's been a lot of experts have put their 2 cents in to make this dream become a reality.
And now the money from the rides, like we said before, are donated to Breast Cancer Care WA. It's a really unique way of donating money to an important cause. How does it feel to have created a one-of-a-kind organisation in Perth?
It's kind of surreal, really. I wanted to be able to help Breast Cancer Care WA because they do such a really good job. But we also wanted to reach out to a community of people that probably don't normally go for your regular type of support. They're not normally looking for support. And people in the motorsport or the car hoons, as everybody calls them, have a tendency to sort of say, no, I'm tough, I can deal with this on my own. But we sort of wanted to reach out and say, well, you don't have to. There's somebody out there who can help.
So you're listening to On The Record, and we're joined by Andy Kahle, founder of Therapy on Wheels, and we're discussing their organisation as well as their supercharged Hellcat Mercedes-Benz. Now, are there any other opportunities that Therapy on Wheels offer to people who are dealing with breast cancer and other situations in their lives?
Absolutely. We also put the car on show, and unlike a lot of cars, when you go to a car show, they've got the little sign that says you're not allowed to touch. We actually encourage people to come and jump in the seat. If going for a ride is not your thing, then try the race suit on, pop the helmet on, have a little bit of a photo opportunity. We also visit the clubs and schools and talk about, depending on the age group, either what it's like to be a race car driver for the little ones. But for the older ones and for the girls' schools, it's about body awareness and the importance of noting when something's wrong and doing something about it quickly.
So how important is that school interaction, and for, like you're saying, with older girls, like having a chat to them about all those things?
It is really important, especially with the young teenage girls. They get a little bit worried that if something's wrong or if they notice something different, and they might not mention it because they feel a little bit self-conscious and a little bit embarrassed. And what we say is it's important that you know your body and don't rely on that once a month visit to your doctor. You know your body better than he does or she does, and you've got to say if you see something that's not normal.
And now you're officially launching the car for the 2021-2022 season. Can you tell us a bit more about this event?
It's a special invite-only, unfortunately, event that we're having at a very prestigious car showroom. So it's going to be surrounded by some pretty special cars, so it'll be in good company. So it's just a bit of a cocktail event to invite some special guests and dignitaries to come along and have a look at the car and get to know us.
So what does it mean for you being able to launch this car for this season?
It's been a lot of hard work. For anyone who was following us last season, they know that we did have a few engine issues, so we finished the season early. But with a lot of help from a lot of people again, we've managed to get the car going and the engine rebuilt, and it's basically the start of a new year for us. So with the sunshine comes the smiles again.
And I'm sure a lot of people will be happy, not only people who are involved with Therapy on Wheels, but anyone else in the drag race community will be excited to see the car go for this season.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of supporters down at the track, and I'm sure they're all going to be very excited to see us out there again.
Now, that's not the only thing that's happening. You're also launching your new book this Thursday. Can you tell us a bit about what it's about?
Absolutely. I wrote a book. It was based from my blog of when I was going through my cancer journey, and I kept a blog to keep my family up to date. And then a few years later, I started turning that into a book. It's called Don't Wait for the Green Light, which is a drag racing term, because if you do wait until you see the green light, you're too late. You've missed the boat. Wow. So you have to anticipate it, and you've got to be ready to go at any opportunity. And that's a good thing in life as well.
It's interesting to hear that you've turned your blog and things that you posted into a book.
Yeah, I had a few family members that said they liked the way that I wrote, and that they were funny little anecdotes. It's not your regular type of breast cancer story. It's well, obviously it goes from buying a drag racing car, getting diagnosed, and then going for a race. So it isn't really a normal story, but there's quite a lot of laughter and a few funny stories in there.
So why are you so passionate about sharing your story and the trials that you and your family went through?
I just feel that not everybody wants to talk about their story, but for me it helped following other people's and talking to other people, reading other people's books, and it helped me know what to expect and know that I wasn't the only one going through this. And sometimes it does feel like you're the only one going through it, even though you know it's unfortunately quite common.
And I can imagine the frank things that you wrote during the time of when you were going through with breast cancer will be very helpful to some people, just being able to hear your thoughts and opinions at those point in time.
Absolutely. It's not a medical journal. It's not about specific treatments or specific drugs. It's about my perceptions of how people look at you when you go to the shops for the first time, or how quickly you feel tired, and the funny taste of different foods. And it's little observations that you don't normally find out about when you're reading all the medical stuff when you first get diagnosed.
So this morning we've been talking all about Therapy on Wheels, your really exciting drag race car, the event that's coming up, and your book. Just to end off this morning, what do you hope people will take away from the book and the launch on Thursday?
Find an outlet for your stresses when anything, whether it's a big stress or something small that's annoyed you from the day at work. Find an outlet and find something that makes you smile.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the record this morning.
Thank you.
That was Andy Kahle, founder of Therapy on Wheels, telling us all about how the organisation came to be, what they do, as well as the launch of their exciting world-first supercharged Hellcat Mercedes-Benz drag race car.